Hello and welcome to Explore with Kids. So in this video, I'm going to check out a 100 amp hour lithium battery from a manufacturer called Kasan. I think that's how you pronounce it. Now I want to know, is this the best value for money lithium battery on the market? Well, let's see if this is the case. So please note, I'm not sponsored by this company and paid everything out of my own pocket. You know, I want to keep this channel honest and without bias, and will continue to pay for the goods and products that I test and review out of my own pocket. So in return, I would just love it if you could subscribe to this channel so I continue to do more of these videos. So a few months ago, I did a review of another battery by Voltex. You know, this battery is still going strong and working well. However, due to current lockdowns and whatnot, I've not been using this battery to the way I intended. So currently it's on test with a solar CCTV system that I set up. So I'll see how well that battery holds up during that test. So the reason I started looking for another battery was because I felt the need, well basically I needed to find a battery with a greater current discharge. You know, we've got a caravan on order and I thought, you know, I'd like to utilize a few more creature comforts, especially when out free camping. I guess the main issue was with the Voltex, it was only rated to 50 amps maximum continuous discharge, which really isn't a lot when you start loading it up with, say, a coffee machine. Now I know that's a bit soft, but yeah, like I like my coffee, or my wife especially loves her coffee, so we need a good coffee machine. So the other thing was warranty was going from 3 to 1 years, and then, you know, I want to purchase 3 of these for the caravan, so I wanted consistency. I believe they then reverted back to 3 years now and have come back up, you know, with another battery with, I guess, different battery specs, but just this backwards and throwing between 1 year to 3 years and then different brands, I just thought, I don't know if I can really trust this because I really want that consistency. So I managed to find this battery that showed up on my social pages, and it's from a company called Rolling Cart, I believe is the one that sells it. Look, I have no affiliation with this company, I've never dealt with them before, and I actually purchased this battery from their eBay store. And then to top it off together, they had some eBay Plus vouchers which helped reduce the initial cost. Also purchased it in this way as I felt in the event that the battery wasn't up to standard, I could easily get my money back. So now, why did I choose to test this battery? So looking at the specs on their website, to be honest, was really impressive for a battery at this point, this price point. So although the data sheets does show some conflicting pieces of information, other than that, it's really good. So I'll try and reach out to the seller for clarification, in particular to the lifespan and warranty, which I found was a bit different compared to the two. So now let's look at the specs. It's a 100 amp hour lithium battery weighing at 11.4 kilos. It has a maximum discharge, continuous discharge of up to 200 amps for 2.3 seconds. However, on the battery, it does say the maximum is 150 amps. So don't know what's going on there, but we'll see what happens. The operating temperatures for this battery for charging are 0 to 55 degrees Celsius and a discharge from -20 to 60 degrees Celsius. It also has a life cycle of 2,000 cycles at a 90% depth of discharge and an expected lifespan of 5 to 10 years, which it states on their website. But then on the data sheet, it's like 10 to 15 years. So you can see I'm finding these little discrepancies in information here. But the main thing is that it comes with a 5-year warranty, which is stated on their website. But it says only 3 years on the data sheet. So I'm not sure if the seller is actually giving another 2 years warranty on top of the manufacturers. But nonetheless, a 5-year warranty all for $449 is pretty impressive. This battery also claims to use prismatic cells, and it has an LCD monitor on the battery to monitor the battery voltage, depth of discharge and temperature. The only thing I couldn't find was it doesn't really state what type of BMS they use in their batteries. So just assuming that it's it is what it is, and that the quality of that BMS is up to standard. So looking at this seller's website and reviews, they also seem very reputable. They also have pictures of the internals of the battery, which is something not commonly seen. But once again, I'm not sure how this company will be if there actually is an issue or how long they've been around, but like always, time will tell. So for this battery review, I've also purchased some extra equipment to test the battery, and I've chosen a Victron Bluetooth shunt and a Victron Blue Smart Charger. So this will allow me to monitor via the app on my phone and see what's actually happening in real time as well. So what I'm going to do is do a quick unboxing, show you the testing setup, and then let you know the results. So let's get into this. So here we've got our Kasan battery ready to get unboxed. So what we'll do is a quick unboxing and see what we get inside, and have a quick look at the battery and see how well it's made. So let's get into it. So it's pretty well packed. Put that there. So pretty much just get the battery, nothing else. So what we'll do is we'll go and check it out and see what it's like. Okay, so this is our setup. So we've got our Victron Smart Charger, which is connected or basically it's put in a lithium ion profile. And we've also got our Bluetooth smart shunt here, if you can see that. And then from there, we're going to be powering everything through a EnerDrive 2000 watt inverter, which is connected to our trusty air conditioner that we bought last summer to get us out of the heat in Canberra. And to speed things up, just got a little heat gun here just to try and make things go a bit quicker. But first things first, what we'll do is we'll charge up the batteries to 100% before we begin our test. So what we'll do now is we'll just go and check in the Smart app and see what's happening there. So what I'm just going to show you now is the app that we're going to be using. So this is the Victron app, and we're going to check on the Blue Smart Charger. So we'll click on that there. And what we can see here is we've got 6.6 amps going in. Current battery voltage is 13.5, obviously because it's probably charging. And we're at a storage, or in the profile of storage. So this tab here gets to show us where the battery is in the process, or which profile it's in, or what stage it's actually in during the charge cycle. As you can see here, it's put us in storage. And over here we've got a history tab. So we can kind of see how long it's taken, how many amps have actually been put in, which is really going to give us a good indication of what we take out, actually what are we putting back in, to give us a good indication of what the capacity of this battery is. So once it's fully charged, we'll come back up, begin our test. So yeah, really looking forward to this. So what I'm going to do is just going to show you this little LCD as well, to give you a comparison. It's showing it's at 90%, and it's currently reading 13.2 volts. So we'll just see how accurate that is compared to the Victron measurement. But yeah, pretty cool little LCD there to just give you an idea of what's happening. So just checking in to see how the battery's going. So what we'll do is we'll jump into the battery charger. You can see here now it's in storage mode. 13.51, current 1.6. There's our graph. And we can see here, put in 26.9 amp hours across 4 hours to charge that to full. So what I'll do now is I'll just jump into the Smart Shunt. You can see here, state of charge, 100%, so everything's good. So what I'll do now is I will go into history. What I'll do is I'll just reset this all, so we know what's going on. And I'll go back into the battery charger as well, and I will reset this history as well. So now we've got all that done, we can go and start doing our test. But I'll just check the LCD screen and see what that's doing. So let's go check that out. So here we are, we'll just check the LCD screen, see what that's showing. I'm sure you can see that. That's actually showing 95% at 13.4 volts. So be interested to see what this test does once we get through. Victron was showing it at 100%. That's showing it at 95%. So what we'll do now is we will go and disconnect the battery charger. We'll go and turn on the inverter. So let's see what the inverter say. Inverter saying 13.3. And then what we'll do now is we'll go and just turn on our aircon and we'll let this test run. We'll just see how this goes now. So what we'll do is we will jump into the app. So this is us in the app now. So we'll just check the smart chart and see what's going on. So you can see 100% state of charge. Current is drawing 44 amps. And it's saying it's going to take about 3 hours to draw down. So have a look here. See our history. We've also got a cool graph here showing us, you know, what's going on with the voltage. Go to current, and it shows you how much current's actually being consumed. So yeah, it's a really cool app to see what's going on. But yeah, we'll come back and check on this in probably about an hour and see what's going on then. So just checking in, an hour's gone by now. So we'll just jump into the app again and have a look. On the smart shunt. So now we're down to 33%. Battery's at 12.22. It's currently using 58 amps and we've consumed 59 amps, and it's saying we've got 11 minutes to go. So we'll come back and check in this in, I guess, another 10 minutes and see where it's up to. So here we are about 10 minutes later. What we'll do is we'll just jump back into the app. Click on smart shunt. So we're now at 17% state of charge, or what's left. Battery's at 12.1 volts. The aircon's still drawing 59 amps. We've consumed 717 watts, and that is 73 amp hours. And time remaining is now, it's unknown. So we'll keep this going and let's see how far we can push it. So just out of curiosity, I'm just going to check to see what the LCD is showing. Okay, funny enough, LCD is still showing 41%, battery's at 12.2 volts. The inverter showing a voltage of 11.9 volts. Let's just have a look at the temperature. And it's showing it's 31 degrees inside the battery. So yeah, let's just keep this going and then see how far we can push it. So we've just passed an hour and a half and we are at 11.65 battery. Aircon's still drawing 61 amps. It's actually going up because the voltage is dropping down, and we have consumed 89 amp hours. So we'll just keep this going, keep pushing on and see how far we can get this thing to before it starts to drop out. What I thought I might do is, just because the current was so high, basically it's going to get a larger drop off. So what I did, I've just reduced or upped the temperature of the aircon so it's not running as hard. And you can see here now we're drawing 11.8 amps, and now we've consumed 90.1 amp hours. So I'll let this thing keep going at this lower pace to see if we can, to see what actually we're going to get out of this. Otherwise the inverter is just going to kick off because we're just drawing too much current, which is actually affecting the voltage in that way. So let's see what this does. So everything's just cut off. The inverter just died, aircon's just gone off. And last I saw we consumed was, or the battery was at 11.58 volts and consumed in total 90.2 amp hours. So what I'll do now is I will just go and connect the smart charger back up and see how many amps gets put back in. Before I do that, I'll just check this. Yeah, everything's completely dead. So what I'll do is I'll get the charger and just clip it back on. So what I'll do now is I'll just jump into the app and see what we get. So here we are back into the app. I'll just go and check to see the smart shunt. And what we can see here, it's saying it's 100% charged, which is incorrect. But current going back in is 14.59. Let's have a look at the history. Funny enough, it's only showing that our deepest discharge was 79 amp hours. So I'm not sure if that's because it didn't have time to kind of resync itself, but that's what it is there. Now we'll jump into the smart charger app. And you can see now it's on bulk charge and it's putting in 15 amps, which is what this charger is rated for. In the graph here, we can see it's on bulk. And then we'll just go into history. So that's just showing the last cycle, or this is the current cycle actually. So we've got here 1 minute and 5 seconds, and we have put in 0.4 amp hours. So I'll leave this overnight so it gets a really good charge, and then we'll come check it in the morning and actually see how many amps got put back into this battery. So here we are, it's the next morning. It's been charging overnight. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go jump into the app and see what's been going on. So here we are, the current voltage it's showing is 14.02. We'll just jump into history. So we can see here that first charge cycle has been completed. It's taken 8 hours to fully charge, and it has put back in 95 amp hours. So we actually took out 90 something amp hours yesterday, put 95 amp hours back in. So yeah, the battery look like it is a full 100 amp hour battery. So yeah, it's pretty impressive. So what I'm going to do is actually, I'm going to do one more test just to confirm everything once more. Now that we know the battery's been fully charged, what I'll do is I'll crank everything back up again, and then we'll repeat this whole test process one more time, just to confirm everything is as it says it should be. So we'll get started on this test. So what I'll do is I'll just double check to see what the battery is showing. And it is showing 100% at 14 volts. Just checking back in, we'll just log into the app. Let's jump into the smart shunt. And we are now, battery voltage is 11.78, and we've consumed 86.7 amp hours. So what we'll do is we'll continue to let this run and see how this plays out now. So what I might do while I'm waiting, so we're at 90.23 amp hours, I'll just go and check on the LCD on the battery. Battery is showing 25% at 11.9 volts and a battery temperature of 28 degrees. So the inverter now's got an error coming up, E05, meaning the voltage is low or below standard. So not sure if you can hear it, but the inverter, and it's just gone off. So there we go, it's just gone off. We hit 93.5 amp hours. So that was the end of the test. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go and charge this thing back up and see what we actually put back in. So let's just jump back into the app again. So it is now on bulk charge. Current's going back in at 15 amps. And we'll just jump into the smart shunt. And you can see here now, current going back in is 14.59 amps. So yeah, we'll leave this to charge and we'll come back and see what the results are. So just checking in to see how far this battery gone. Let's just check at the app. As you can see now, we're in storage mode, and we have gone this cycle 8 hours and 2 minutes, 95 amp hours put back in as well. If we compare that to the first cycle that we did, it's identical. So, you know, this battery says it's 100 amp hours, and you know, pretty much it says what it is. Okay, so what's my thoughts on this battery? You know, I'm really impressed with it. It seems well made and performs according to its specs. And with that 100 amp hour continuous discharge, 5-year warranty, prismatic cells at that affordable price point, I think it's real good value for money. The only little gripe I have is those bolts seem a little bit on the shorter side, but that really depends on your setup, I guess. And I also wish there was some consistency in the specs between the website data sheet and what's on the actual battery. Maybe that just give me a little bit more confidence that this battery is what it is at that price. So the LCD on the top of the battery is also handy if you have easy access to it. But I guess if it's tucked away, I'm not sure how useful this will be. You know, it's also nice to see what the temperature is measuring inside the battery. I guess it will determine also what the BMS will be doing at that time. So once again, I've never heard of this manufacturer before, nor the seller. So I guess there's always a risk when you take these batteries or purchase cheaper batteries. I guess that's probably the main reason why they are cheaper to begin with, because you're not actually paying for that brand name. The other thing is, if there is an issue with this battery, it's like, will they honor the warranty, or will the company even be around in 5 years? You know, I'd like to think so and have to trust that they will be, but I guess time will tell how good this battery is. Unfortunately, I won't know that until there is an issue, but so far so good as far as the test of the product is concerned. So I'll continue to test and use this battery and let you know if I face any issues in the future. Just hopefully we can get out of lockdown and actually can use this battery to the way I intended it to. So, but that's it for this video. And if it's been helpful, would love you to give us a thumbs up. And while you're at it, hit that subscribe button so you can get notified when we release another video. You know, always checking out new sites and playing around with gear and equipment. If you have any other questions or comments, hit us up in the comment section below and I'll do my best to answer any questions. Until next time.